Howdy folks, Dr. Groovy here, Scott Grove of GroovyMusicLessons.com with Ask Scott Grove Anything, here in Season 2, in episode number 5. It seems all these are turning out to be about an hour and a half long, so hey, whatever it is what it is, and I hope you guys are still enjoying it. I see some of you are actually watching some of them by some of the comments I get. Just real quick before we go on, I want to thank Will from Will's Easy Guitar. If you just look up Will's Easy Guitar on here, I may throw a link to it. I'll just do this. Well, like Chappers does. Look, it's right there. There's Will's Easy Guitar, right in between there. Okay, so click right there and pick some of his. I'll put you right to the first tone wood one. He's got like a few things, but he's quite the physics major, and will actually prove to you about the whole tone wood thing and much more with his stuff beyond what, if you haven't ever believed, you know, against the whole tone wood, there is no such thing as tone wood makes any fucking difference. There's no arguing with Will. He flat out proves the whole thing the way it is. And he's not on like my side or against Chappers or whatever. He could give a fuck about either one of us, to tell you the truth. And he could give a fuck about y'all. But that's only if you become a total asshole like he is. And for me, he's earned the right to be an asshole, kind of like me. You guys think I'm an asshole just because I'm an asshole. No, I've been listening to you peckerheads whine for 8 years about this bullshit. He's only been going at it, listening, going at the Tonewood debate for a couple weeks, and he's just flat out sick of all these individuals. So I dare Wyatt to go over there and fuck with him. Yeah, whining Wyatt. You know Wyatt. That would just be too funny to see that one happen. Anyway, so go say hey to Will and check out his stuff, man. It's fabulous learning, and he can explain it in a way that basically nobody else can, and it's a lose-lose situation if you even try to argue with the guy, because you are going to lose. I don't care if you're Sir Isaac Newton and whatever theorems or theories or actual proof you think you have, you will be shot down in flames and proved dead wrong, because the man is on his game and he knows his shit. And that's that. So thanks to Will for all his efforts he's been putting into it, and not for anybody other than himself. He was a believer of Tonewood until he used his amazing abilities to simply prove himself wrong. He didn't want to be wrong, I'm sure, but he was, and now he knows that Tonewood is bullshit. So welcome aboard, Will, and thanks again for all your efforts. And I also want to find out a little something that I looked all over the internet for half hour, I think that's all I put into it. But Jimmy Buffett with Margaritaville. Somebody had just asked me, I don't know if it was in response to the last Ask Scott Grove Anything video, like part 4 or part 2 or which one it was, but it was on this new series. They just asked me today. So if anybody can help me find this out so I can actually give him a definitive answer. For all of us who have been playing this song since it came out in '77, one thing I didn't know that I learned today is that, of course, Jimmy Buffett did write it, but had Elvis not died there in August of '77, what is it, August 26th probably, I think, or it's his birthday, January 26th, I can't remember which way it went, or August, you guys let me know. Anyway, so it would have been Elvis's very next album, but since the King passed away, Jimmy Buffett recorded it, and it's still his highest charting song ever. It never made it near #1 here in the U.S. It made it to #1 on like the light rock station, the adult contemporary list, but not on like Billboard's Top 100. It made it like the 13 or something. But anyway, and of course there's the missing last verse, which I've heard millions of times on shows that I've went to of his, and just the live albums. You know, the old man in tank tops cruising the gift shops. Anyway, the question that they asked, yeah, Scott, get around to it, was where did all the salt stuff come from? Meaning, if you're in a band, you've heard it a million times, and if you're in a band that travels wide distance, you know, everywhere, it's different everywhere you go. The question is just where did that whole thing come from, the audience participation of the many variations of the salt thing. So, see. Searching for my lost shaker of salt. Where's the salt? Where's the salt? That thing. Some people just go, searching for my lost shaker of salt. They go, salt, salt, salt. Some people say salt 3 times. Where I'm from, it's searching for my lost shaker of salt. Where's the salt? Where's the goddamn salt? And some weird people have passed the salt, passed the motherfucking salt. I had never heard that one before, but somebody back in the Midwest claims to have. That's what they do, but nobody else has ever heard that one. But there are a lot of different versions. Anyway, the guy just wanted to know, does anybody know the origin of that? Is that something that Buffett came up with, or one of the parrot heads came up with? I have no idea, and I was not able to find out the answer. It's just like the Moni, hey, say what, get laid, get fucked, and there's 10 million different versions of that. I've never heard the same version twice in any state for what people say on the Moni thing. So all these answer back songs. So if anybody actually knows the definitive answer and can give me a link to prove it, not just because you said so, unless it's Will, then I'd probably just believe him. If you know where the whole salt thing, despite which version they used, how it came into play, who originated it, if it was Jimmy or if it was just the parrot heads or drunks in a bar and it took off across the country, who knows? Let me know so I can answer that question, alright? Okay, I'm going to get rid of my guitar and we'll dig back in to all the questions. I'd like to thank some people for heading over to rezonation.com and chewing them a new one. I haven't been over there to see the fun comments yet, but I appreciate the folks who actually honestly did go over there, because they are a smug group of pompous assholes. Okay, let's pick it up. I am up to, if you turn to your hymnals, I'm just on 27 out of 35, page 27 out of 35. The person, it's not even a question, just to see if you have can find your way if you put everything from oldest to newest and go way down till you see a person named hell, I have no idea what that name is. The Seathered One. The THESEETHERED 1. All it says is fuck 'em and feed 'em. Oh, fuck 'em and feed 'em beans, Doc. Okay, tell me who I'm supposed to fuck and who I'm supposed to feed beans. I have no idea what it means, but it's on here, so I'm going to read it. Anything that's on here, I'm going to read it. And again, people who answer my questions for me before I can even get to them. Yeah, CJ pops up here again. He answers my questions for me, so I'll put his answers on here too. Okay, right above here might be a first question. Thomas R. Bowen says, first, can you put nylon strings on a regular... No. Can you put nylon string... Well, you can, but it's not going to be pretty. Can you put nylon strings on a regular acoustic guitar, or does it have to be a classical style guitar? No, don't do it. It'll never tune up. It'll never do what it's supposed to do. And vice versa. they're meant for what they're supposed to be. The frets are spaced the way they're supposed to be for each type of string, despite their gauges. But yeah, you can put them on there, but as far as playing in tune, it's not going to ever happen, so don't do that. Okay, it says second. Oh, and then he has a third and a fourth. I said people can do 2 questions. We'll see what actually happens down here, how tough they are. Second, I'm 31 and about to be 50. Does technology creep you out as much as it does me? As much as I use it, instant communication with people around the world, and no one talks anymore. It just seems like technology is really changing people's behavior. Your thoughts? Yeah, I would love to be here, and let me put this down here because I'm gonna slouch. I don't want to have to set up so you can see me. I'd rather put the camera down so I can slouch. Technology freaks me out, and I love it both at the same time, and I've said it so many times, never on camera, but I would love to be here in 100 years, strictly to see where it has got us, whether it has finally destructed the whole fucking place, or if it has taken us to a cool place. Can bands actually just be set up in an area where the specific dimensions were given to you, and then you beam everything over there and it's already set up. All you get is plug in the cables when you get there. It's like, that'd be cool. And you know, you got your guitars on, strapped up, ready to go. No more loading in, loading out, driving over there. That'd be great. But as far as, yeah, people talking to each other, nobody talks to me anymore. My mom, any of my family, they're like, get on Facebook. It's like, there ain't no fucking way I'm getting on that fucking Facebook. None of that stuff. No Facebook, no twatter, no nothing. It's not going to happen ever. I see no sense in it. If I want to talk to somebody, I'll talk to them on the phone, or I'll drive over there and say, hey, that's me. And I hate the phone more than anything, but yeah, people, it is what it is. Yeah, it's exactly as you say. Of course it is. It's just everybody's pushing their buttons and doing their thummy things, and it's sad. You know, there's no more face-to-face. But then again, depends on what kind of person you are. I'm generally a person who hates face-to-face stuff anyway, unless it's with somebody I actually really like. Otherwise, small talk, fuck it. I'm not going to, at gigs and stuff. It's just like, I just hate anybody that walks up to me, probably, until all of a sudden, if they know a little something about anything at all, I just get sick of the same old shit, no matter how complimentary it is. It's sad that you get jaded when people give you a compliment. Just the fact that you have to talk to somebody is just like weird. So yeah, I should be attracted to the social media somehow. I guess I am with the YouTube thing. I've thought so hard about, and I still think about, quitting YouTube altogether. Like every day of my life I think about quitting it, just because I could actually get shit done instead of, I honestly block more than 100 people every single day of my life, because there are that many dumb fuckers out there. It's just unbelievable. So why I even subject myself to it or whatever, I have no fucking idea. So yeah, I guess I'm all over the place, my man. So God, what to give you, and does the technology creep you out as much as it does me? Yeah, it does. And people doing, selfies, and that was considered so retarded when, me and you were there 35 years ago taking pictures of ourselves, and people would always laugh at those pictures because you can tell you they were taking now it's a thing. It's in the Scrabble dictionary. The new premiere of the TV show came on tonight, I think. Of course, I missed it. I'm not going to watch a fucking TV show called Selfies. It's just fucking retarded, ain't it? Technology, as far as just music stuff, I think is cool. I love where everything's going, how portable and how easy and how much cheaper everything is becoming for us to be able to do what we want to do musically, and we can record songs anywhere we go. We can take it to any country on a little phone and record, with people from South Africa or whatever, and just patch it right in and lay down the tracks anywhere, and you never have to pay for studio time ever again in your life. You never have to go shop yourself. You never have to do anything in person. It's good and bad, but you never have to do a Think Back, Scout Back showcase where you get all the A&R people and stuff to come out and see the band and bid on you and see if you're worth a fuck, according to them. And you're just on YouTube and you can get a record deal that way. Way easier now doing that than any other form of trying to get a deal. So, gone are the days of hoping you get discovered by somebody, a record exec happened to be staying at the Holiday Inn you're playing. That shit don't happen anymore. So, yeah, so it's a double-edged sword, my man. Makes life easier, but as far as communication with each other, yeah, it separates families, I think. I'll see what the other two questions are you got. Third, what do you find most interesting about your wife? I will always give extra time and an extra question about my wife. She's so different from me in every single way in the entire world. We don't have a single thing in common. Not one. Nothing. Zero. Not even one piece of food. No, we don't even like the same flavor of bubble gum or what. Nothing. Not one thing. Just the fact that she accepts me, is proud of anything I do, whether it be just getting out of the bed that day and walking around the block one time. She couldn't be more thrilled with me at the moment if I do that. So it's how selfless she is and how much she cares for me that just blows my mind. That's what I find the most interesting about my wife. Honestly, she's just selfless completely. Your fourth question, if you had time to play one last tune, what would it be? Honestly, let's see. Well, it's always got to go back to the one, Louis Armstrong, What a Wonderful World. As much as I hate this world, it's still my favorite song. And I hate children. I hate so much. But that would be it. What a Wonderful World, Louis Armstrong. Is just a perfect song, sung by the right guy. That's just classic. I love doing it myself, the song, so I'd like to sing it as I go out. If I knew I was dying, I'd put the karaoke version on and I'd sing it and nod off to La La Land and become worm poop or whatever, So, there you go. 4 questions for you. Right above there. It's Thomas R. Bowen again with the 5th question. Let's see. Will I say it? Well, let's throw it out there. It says, will we ever hear an original guitar player in mainstream music again? Yeah, of course. It depends on what you call mainstream music, and I call that shit that's on the radio, that everybody can hear every day of the week. And for me, that would be country music. Country music is still the highest selling music out there as far as tours and so forth. So people are always saying, yeah, nobody makes money out on the tours. People are fighting back and forth again here on YouTube, which really makes me want to be here, saying, since country music is dead, and it's like, no, it's just different than it was. Every kind of music is different than it was. I'm not fond of most of the country music, but Brad Paisley. He's about as original as they get, and he's out there right now, and he's shaping gazillions of guitar players' minds every day, whether the rock players want to admit it. If anybody could just tackle one of his amazing solos without any tab, I would shit myself, because you guys can't do it. I can't do it. And he makes me giggle every time he hears me. He's like phenomenal. And there's going to be somebody else that'll come along and do that again, sure. Yeah, everything seemed to have been done by the time Vi and then his little shit companion, Satriani, came along and did everything after watching Eddie Van Halen, after checking out Malmsteen. After those guys and the whole 80s onslaught, what has there been as far as major mainstream guitar players? Well, there's been Slash, and that's nothing to be proud of for most people. Some people idolize the guy. I sat through and watched a whole 2.5-hour concert on here a couple days ago. Last night I was watching Rush. I'm just trying to listen to more people just to try to get it. And I really don't understand how some of these people ever made it. I really don't. But then again, when you think the majority of the people in the world are honestly total morons, and that they're all just like cattle, you know, they just do what all the others do, then you see the patterns and how it would happen. So, but yeah, there's going to be plenty of mainstream guitar players come along before the instrument is just gone. I think it might end up gone. Then again, it is the instrument of the poor. It's portable. It's everything else. It might survive the nuclear holocaust of the whole world. They might bring that kind of thing back. But what would it be that would be so different as far as playing style? Of course, I can't say that. Neither can you, because then it wouldn't be some kind of innovative, original player. Hopefully it has nothing to do with what's been around for 30 years, and that's all the tapping and all that crap from the Chapman stick. But before that, you had Stanley Jordan doing all that stuff, and everybody else was trying to do it with 9 and 10 string guitars. But it's like the Chapman stick was a 10 string or more instrument, depending on which one you ordered, 30 years ago, and people don't remember it for some reason, and now they're thinking it's all new because you have a neck that's this wide and all 10 strings going across there, and you're playing them all and doing tapping melodies and rhythms. It's like, that shit's been around forever, but everybody's so damn young, they don't know where that shit came from and who did it so much better than any of them have. So who knows what it's going to be, but I have no desire that guitar will prevail somehow, and more players will find something that hasn't been done. I know it's hard to comprehend, but it keeps happening somehow. So I have hope. Okay, so let's go up to right above to S.J. Dude, Thomas, you've got more questions above. Quit it. See, above him we have S.J. Smith. Scott, if you could only keep one electric guitar and one acoustic out of your collection, heaven forbid, which two would you pick? In other words, what are your favorite electric and acoustic guitars out of your collection, and why? Most of you out there know these from me having answered this several times before, but one of them you just saw, and then the rest of them you guys already know the answer to. So my acoustic would far and above be this one, the Rain Song, that I had to have built just so I could get the old N1 neck back. So the Rain Song carbon fiber, no wood. And then it would be my pink paisley Strat from way back when, would be my electric. And if you haven't seen it yet for any reason, okay, that's this old guy. And if you guys, and I wrote this about to another guy earlier, he's wanting to know where to get one, blah blah blah. eBay dude, that's about it. Craigslist, maybe. But if you ever want the quote unquote real one like this one, you'll want it. It will be made in Japan with the old style made in Japan on the back, because that company has turned over 3 times in ownership. But look for the big headstock, the 11 screw pickguard, not the 8 screw pickguard, and of course the easiest way to tell the old ones, the 3-bolt neck. Everything newer than this was 84 through 87 when they made these. After that they made one short round in 95, and then everything turned into crafted in Japan, written right back here instead of made in Japan. And then they re-released these in 2001. Then they went back to made in Japan again, and with a whole different font. And they did another round of these, but again, all with 4 bolts, small headstocks, and 8-hole pickguards. But this will be the guitar on my electric. But just to answer a couple questions in one there. And if you see the crafted in Japan guitars and use their serial numbers, you will get some 1995 saying that was built in 1995. I'm sorry, saying that some of your crafted in Japan ones were. No, they weren't even crafted in Japan yet. But they will have 1995 serial numbers on them. Why? Because they were morons at that particular time, the way it happened. And I've got the thing here, the list of them, and where they're, what the actual thing is, what the serial numbers are, when crafted start, what they made when, and the serial numbers for it. So if it says crafted in Japan, it gives me serial numbers that are the same as made in Japan. But you have to be smart enough to look right next to the serial number and see if it says crafted or made, because that totally tells you the difference. And what's so funny is most every single guitar store on the planet will advertise the crafted in Japan Fenders as being, you know, older guitars because of the serial numbers, when they are not looking at the right serial numbers. They're looking at the made in Japan serial numbers. So I write them all the time, and they always tell me on eBay, oh, fuck off. You know, mind your own fucking business. I know what I'm doing. It's like, oh, whatever, man. So real life is no different than actually YouTube is. The world's full of dumb motherfuckers. So that would be my 2 guitars, man. The Rain Song and then the old Strat. That's all I need. Okay. So Thomas R. Bowen again asked something, and then CJ Willingness answered it for him. Let's just see what it was. See if I need to even answer. Let me see who's next. That'll be about that, okay. So Thomas asked, what do you think why do you think guitarists are so competitive and care so much about speed? They're all just fucking wankers, man. It's horrible, those kind of people, the speed people. It's just all about trying to show off on here, and then they jack off the rest of the day. That's all it is. It's just a jack off contest. There's nothing in speed other than impressing other people that you think you need to impress for some reason. Women don't enjoy the speed. Let's see what CJ had to say when he answered my question. I'm going to say ego. Been that way longer than I've been alive, I bet. I can imagine 2 Baroque musicians getting drunk and making a bet who can do the minute waltz in 53 seconds. It's actually pretty fucking funny. Probably historically incorrect, but I'm not worried. I like both. I like the question and the answer, so I'll leave it with CJ's answer. It's a good enough one for me. Okay, right above there. Hey, I can mark these off. Da, 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 da. Fucking feed 'em beans, Doc. Okay, so there's the majority of that page. We're going up to Stop Motion 613. Says, Dr. Grove, I got 2 questions for you. All right. Number 1, Scott, what's your favorite Nigel moment? Okay, again, don't forget all Nigel, all the time, coming to YouTube sooner than you think. Well, actually, I said it would be done by sometime here in this month, so I didn't lie. I just didn't know that the end of the month was so fast. So I'm not going to do Nigel tonight. But as far as what's my favorite Nigel moment so far, it has to be the amplifier one where I had the amp was on the ground, the little Fender amp was on the ground, and Nigel, he was over there and trying to just, explain what the difference between, bright and clear, and what the difference between that and a warm sound on a guitar. So he takes the little amp and sets it on the ground, little bitty Fender frontman amp, and all the sound is blasting his ankles out, and all they can hear is a bunch of that because none of it's going toward his ears. So it's like, listen how warm that is. And then he tilts the amplifier back and points it towards his ear, and listen how warm and chimey and bright and clear that is. But the world, everybody strives for that warm sound. Again, let's analyze, how great that sound was. And then he puts the amp back down on the ground and aiming at his ankles again, and turns the tone all the way off on the guitar, turns the treble and mid off on the amp, and turns the bass wide open. Yeah, there you go, that's warm right there. I think that's my favorite, just warm. Everybody wants a warm sound. Oh, God, people are so stupid. But that's my favorite Nigel moment for me. That, or when he was playing the God, he did a great job on the what was that guitar he was playing to show tone woods, right, one next to another. One guitar was like $10,000 that I had laying around here that he was playing on, and the other one was a like half size or even smaller, but SpongeBob SquarePants guitar that has like a built-in speaker. That fucker sounded every bit as good as the other because they were both on, heavy metal distortion. You couldn't tell one guitar from the fucking other at all. It's a great thing. Of course, all those are still posted right here on my channel. And for anybody who does not go back into the old days, back when I had braces, or before I had braces and I had teeth that I could eat corn off the cob through a picket fence with and all that stuff, man, there's some great shit. You guys ought to really go back and look at some of the great stuff, man. I'm damn near out of ideas. No, I'm damn near out of stuff that I actually care to teach. It's all just running together now, is what it comes down to. That's why Nigel's taking over. He'll do the same shit that I did, but I'll let him do it instead of me. I'm getting the fuck out of here. So, there's my answer there. And he also asks, where you at, dude? Oh, and back page 2. I know you like comedy and want to know if you'd ever heard of YouTube poop. Yes, I have. The grandsons always come over here and want to watch YouTube poop all the time. Explanation he puts on here, just so you guys know what he wrote. YouTube poops, or YTP for short, are mixed or just brain-fucked videos where people alter the content of the video, usually taking from sources such as movies, TV shows, etc. Usually they're kind of stupid, and some of them I think are actually funny. They're not for everybody though. Yeah, I've been familiar with YouTube poop for a few years now, and some are pretty fucking hilarious. And I am the grandpa and the uncle that is the one that everybody slaps for. Because I'm the one that tells all the kids the fucking jokes and, what did the cock say to the pussy to the, whatever. They've heard it before. I'm not teaching them nothing new. But, if they want to know where babies come from, hey, I'll show them a film. I'm that way. I don't care how mom or dad wants to raise them. I'm going to do it my way. If they're left in my custody, they're mine. No, I don't go there with kitties. But if they want to know something, or if I want to tell a dirty joke, or they want to hear one, hey, I'm there for them. I'm the cool one, and all the parents get super pissed at me. So sometimes I'm not even allowed to go on. I'm not allowed to go on certain vacations with my wife because of certain in-laws that don't like the way I treat their children. Again, it's just the language thing or the disciplining ways I have. You know, some people don't believe in swatting their kids. Can you believe that shit? Then when they leave them to me and babysit, and if I swat them, for some reason they get mad at me and don't want me to be around their kids anymore. So I just don't go. Because I know their kid is such a fuck that I'll swat him again. So. And no, am I abusive? Not in any way. I administer proper, well-deserved punishment. Just like in my good old day. Okay. So, nothing I would be arrested for. Okay. Okay, from Dylan Prince. What is your favorite South Park episode or scene if you have one? Easy. First season. Had to be first season. What was her name? Miss Ellen. That one. Yeah, Miss Ellen, the lesbian substitute teacher. When all the boys, you know, finally find out after Chef tries to take her out and tells them that Miss Ellen doesn't play for the right team. You know, that she only likes other lesbians. So all the boys try to become lesbians so that the teacher will like them. So the kids are always going over to Cartman's house, and Cartman's on the ground. He's got his tongue going up against the rug downstairs there on the ground. He's down there, you know, tasting that rug, just. And the kids go, "Cartman, what are you doing?" "My mom said if I wanted to be a lesbian, I had to learn to lick carpet." Later on, they walk in on him, and he's got a great big old cardboard box or something just came in, and Cartman's just sitting there chewing on that son of a bitch. "Cartman, what are you doing?" "Well, my mom said if I wanted to be a lesbian, I had to chow on this box." And finally, that teacher ends up getting shot off into the sun and explodes after Wendy gets overjealous. She's in with the fucking towel heads over there and has them come and pick her up and shoot her off into the sun. So the girl's no longer a threat, the teacher. So yeah, the one with that one. How to be a lesbian. Easily my favorite. So thanks for asking something that wasn't musical. I appreciate that. Music is easy. All the other stuff. I'm glad that you just care enough to just, "Hey Scott, what's happening?" type of question. I love those way more than the music questions. Okay. Oh, this is funny. The next one actually mentions ISIS, you know, the terror cell. If you guys actually remember the episodes of ISIS, man, she was hot. Yeah, we're talking, you know, well, she wasn't a cartoon. She was cartoons too, but comic strips. But she was on just like Xeno Warrior Princess was, and her lesbian lover Gabrielle. But ISIS was before her. We all called her Is. But man, look her up right here on YouTube. Some of the old scenes from the ISIS show. Hot chick, man. Holy fuck. Look up ISIS, man. She was cool. She was smoking. Okay, anyway, the next question is about my beard and seeing if I'm wanting to if I'm going to try out for the ISIS thing, it looks like. Again, I haven't read these, but I'm looking at it right now. But as I'm looking, there is a word here, or a creature, that I do love. I love this whole thing. So anyway, from Artful Dodger, DAWDGER. Dear Scott, dear Artful, are you growing that beard in hopes of joining ISIS? Move over, Billy Gibbons. The doctor is in. Now, let me let you guys in on this one, and maybe you guys, I'll be able to tell who has actually sat through 40 minutes of my insane bullshit, let alone the 5th segment of it. I'm trying to decide, you know, what to do with this beard. My wife wants me to trim it down some, but I want it to keep going. So, you know, I get to do whatever I want. You know, she won't get mad at me for anything. She's not that way. But and I'm not a fan of, nor have I ever listen to more than 30 seconds of anything by, who's Dave? That one fucking major douchebag. He used to call himself Dimebag Dave. But now he goes just by Dave the Prick here on YouTube at the moment. But he used to go by Dimebag, so I went and, watched, the real Dimebag get his head blown off, like, shot 5 times in the head. So saw that, and then listened to one part of one solo, and that was enough for me. And it's like, I get it, but it sounds like everybody else. But seemed like a real nice guy from other things that I have seen accidentally of him and his brother and everything. Seemed like a really nice dude. But I was thinking of doing this, dudes. You guys tell me. Getting rid of everything on the side. Okay, so just do the whole big goatee thing and let it grow like another 6 inches out to here. Okay, follow along with me. The band don't want me to do it, and everybody else don't want me to do it. But I'm all about this. I'm serious. And if you guys know I'm talking about Dimebag and you know Dime already, then you already know where I'm going, but slightly different. So yeah, just do the Dime thing where you just grow this, and then you grow this out long, and you can either put it in, some beads or whatever, but the typical Harley thing. So get rid of this so it's not so Santa Clausy or whatever. But then dye it actually the color of my hair. My hair is normal colored. Again, people, I don't change any colors. This is all real. But I was thinking about actually dyeing my beard to my hair color, or the normal color of the beard, which is black, in my younger days. But this part of my mustache never grew in to here while my beard was black, so I never could do the goatee thing. Had to wait till I was almost 50. 20 more days I'll be 50. October 20th. 10/20/64. The year the Beatles got on Ed Sullivan, 64. So anyway, I was thinking about doing that. Number one, what do you think about just going to the big old goatee, letting that grow just a little bit longer, dyeing it, all of it, black, keeping up on that. But then Dimebag, at the end of his, he had like an inch worth. Sometimes he'd do the whole thing bright red. I don't want to do anything like that, but he went through a phase where he just did the very tips of it, like the last ½ inch or maybe up to an inch, where he did it bright red. But I was thinking of going purple. So just black all the way down to the very tip, just that much right there, and just do a kick-ass, neon purple, just right at the tip, which would be down to about here. So that's my thoughts, my grooming thing. So that's what I've been honestly thinking about doing. So I had to ask the band too, because I have to be in the band and can't be projecting an image that isn't cool. But honestly, I don't give a fuck. If they don't like me, then I'll go join another band. But not a problem at all. But that's what I'm thinking. Go right down there and just do exactly that. It'd just be a nice, fun, different look, I think. So yeah, long goatee and purple on the bottom, dye it all black, and I think it would be groovy. I could change it every now and then and do some stripes, just black and orange and black and orange for Halloween, and I don't know, might be kind of cool. I'm in my mid-age crisis now, so I need to find something to do with my hair, since I have nothing else to play with other than all this shit. Okay, so there's your answers, my friend. Thanks for asking for that. Oh, he's not done yet. My other friend, he says, Dr. Groovy, it's just a saying, more like Dr. Zayas. Said, sorry, I had to. Love your videos. Thanks. Awesome person there. Dr. Zayas. If you guys don't know Dr. Zayas, man, the original orangutan back in Planet of the Apes, the original movies. He's the only one that knew the truth of all the apes, that knew the truth about human heritage. So, as Taylor and what was her name? What was the girl's name in the movie? Was it Nova? Yeah, Nova, who couldn't speak. Hot as shit, holy cow. As they ride off on their horse after Zayas, says he wasn't going to like what he finds. Zayas knew what he was going to find, you know, when they finally found what was left of the Statue of Liberty buried up to here. And then Taylor, you blew it up. You blew the whole thing up, you damn dirty apes. So yeah, Dr. Zayas, big old orangutan, big red everything. So I love the Planet of the Apes. The old ones, the new ones I don't give a shit. They don't have near the charm as the old ones. Heston, man, great stuff. Okay, going up here to Brandon Early. Says, what advice would you give to an entrepreneur who has a love obsession for guitars and gear, a lot of money so far, and wants to make a living buying and selling guitars and such on eBay? Okay, and I see the second question says, lastly, would you consider making a video series about working on guitars as far as replacing pickups, wiring, mods, etc.? I'll answer the second question first, which would be no. Too many people on here doing them. Don't ask Chappers to do them again, because he tried to put a volume knob in his green BC Rich revolver thing. Two wires. He fucked it up. It just turned it on or off. Nothing else. And he has his own guitar company, and you guys are buying them? What the fuck? Anyway, again, I love to leave everything normal, but I do mods and so forth, but there are so many on here with people doing such great stuff that I don't see where me doing it as well would do any good. A lot of people say, well, I just like to see you do it and instead of everybody else. Man, there's people on there who've done it so well that, yeah, you just don't need me doing it. You know, so you're asking if would I consider it? I really wouldn't. No, I just don't see that. I have no interest. I'm sorry. You know, it's not to diss you, of course. You just asked honestly if I had any interest in it, and I don't. Everybody always sees me with guitars laying around here, and then I say, okay, here's this. And they're like, well, you should have shown it while you were doing it. It's like, I don't know. It's just something I don't have any interest in. I know some people do want to know what the innards are of my white Iceland back here that was made, so you know what, capacitors, resistors, whatever's in there, and all the others, because they're the same things, you know, when there's no knobs involved. Yeah, that I will open up the guitars and show you guys what's in those and so forth. But as far as replacing pickups, it's positive, negative, that replaces a pickup. Wiring mod, there's so much information on it, but yeah. First part, what advice? Okay. Oh yeah, about wanting to sell shit on eBay. If you have to know your shit inside and out. If you know every last thing there is to know about what you're buying and what you're selling, yeah, you can make a lot of money doing it. Okay, so I don't know where you're at on this, you know, because there's I'd say 80% of the guitars currently being produced I know nothing about. I mean, I could look right at them, look at the specs, and tell you exactly what they're going to be and if they're worth a fuck and what they're going to resell for, and I know not to buy them because I'm not going to make any money off of hunks of shit, you know, like there's no LTD guitar out there or Schecter piece of shit or anything like that that I could, or BC Rich from this generation, of course, the 70s, fuck yeah. But, you know, you don't go around buying those guitars and reselling them because you're not going to make any money. There's no money in it to be had. So you have to really know about the stuff that you're buying and selling. And yes, it's very easy to make good money at it. People do it, you know, do that for their living. I don't do it for a living. Some people think I do. No, I haven't sold a guitar for almost 2 years now. Any guitar. I gave one away. I haven't sold any. So that never has been my thing. I mean, I can, and I could do it very easily. I had a sale almost 2 years ago where I sold a whole bunch of them, and yeah, I made 3 times what I put into them. You know, after all was said and done, and what I paid for them, and they're all in my books on my spreadsheet, and I came out 3 times ahead. So that was very easy to do. but I knew every single thing about them, and I honestly, no matter what, and the people that really know me out there know this to be fact, is that I alone am responsible for quite a few guitars to skyrocket in value on eBay. Those will be now all of a sudden all the Gibson Corvus guitars, they're up to $1,500-1,600 back when they were $600. That's what I bought them for. Until they've went up, an extra $1,000 on top of those. The PV guitars have gone up a lot because of me. These SEEG Paul Reed Smith guitars have almost tripled because of me alone. Nobody else. You're like, boy, aren't you full of it? No, this is the honest truth. And some people damn me for letting it out, but there's no other way for you guys to know how great some guitars actually are that you have missed out on just because of your age and you didn't know they existed. And the last collection I had, which was amazing, if you go check out that old video of the old collection, just guitars that you guys never would have seen had it not been for me. But now they're selling for so much, and every ad on eBay has a link to my YouTube videos to show you what they're about. So you really need to know exactly what you're buying and exactly what you can sell them for. And then the easiest way to get them, and I don't mind telling people this because I'm not looking for them, is to remember what time zone you're in and who's going to wake up when, who's going to go to sleep when, and then buy stuff on the buy it now thing. Just keep refreshing the page of musical instruments, guitars, if that's all you're going to do, electric or acoustic, whatever you're going to do. Excuse me while I talk like that as I'm burping. And get in there and buy the buy it now stuff as soon as it is listed, when it is a stupid price, when you know you can triple your money tomorrow. You don't have to wait for this market to do something. Guitars rise and fall just like property values. In 2006 or whatever, when everything took a shit, so did guitars. $500,000 59 Les Pauls, went down to 200,000 or 175,000. So people are out a lot of money. So there's no difference. So right now, or a couple years ago, is a good time to grab them. If you're going to wait for 20, 30 years and just hope that everything goes back up, chances of that are slim when you actually think that, when you actually know how far China is, how much of the U.S. China has actually soaked up. And if you have any honest feelings that U.S. is pulling out of this, I don't know where you're from this, but if you're from the USA, I would not invest in guitars as far as huge money into it and just say, hey, this is all I'm going to do. But as far as just making a living and get by from day to day, because our lifestyle is going to change pretty soon, big time. But if you have a house to even live in, you're going to be lucky soon. I'm watching some of these weird things that people shouldn't be knowing or thinking they know, but some things are just eminent. But yes, as long as you know your shit and you can triple your money tomorrow, then buy it and triple your money tomorrow. Don't wait. Don't sit on them. Don't sit on guitars and hope they go up. I'm sitting on guitars waiting for people to die. That's one thing. People, yell at me for it. Some people actually bitched at me over the H.R. Giger Iceman guitar because I bought it, and said I just bought it because he's old sick pervert fucker that I'm going to sell it when he dies. And it was I think 6 days later he died. So that's why I've got so much money wrapped up into this Kiss shit. Those fuckers are old, man. And I don't know why I just have weird feelings about different people, and Gene Simmons was just caught, today or yesterday, picking up, not his hamburger, just a piece of hamburger off the sidewalk and eating it. They got him on film doing that. But I think Paul's actually, honestly, going to be the first one to go. If Ace go, well, for some weird, I know Paul seems the most fit and the most everything, but I see him going first. All the rest of them, Ace and Peter should go quick. You know, Peter had the breast cancer, and Ace is just a fucktard, and always fucking himself up. And I just see Paul going first. So all these Paul Stanley models, PS10s, ones that are autographed and everything, that's why they're here. Other ones are here just because I know I can make a fortune off of them, and I made good money. And again, they're tax write-offs at some point, and I just haven't got the energy to even sell them yet. I don't need any of these anymore. They were tax write-offs, but they no longer are. So I don't have to buy a guitar ever again if I don't want to. So if you know your shit, and like I said, you can triple your money, do it. But you better know it inside and out, not just think you know it. Don't go around buying a bunch of Epiphones thinking you're going to make any money unless they were from, you know, the 60s and earlier. So do your homework, man. But you can make a living, no problem, sitting on your ass doing that, if you're smart. Nick Hughes, hey Scott, what's your, oh fuck, you're gonna hate me for this, dude, sorry. I'm just not the guy to ask a question like this. What's your view on Buckethead and Randy Rhoads' work? I don't give a fuck. I don't think I've heard either one of them play. I honestly don't. I've seen the Buckethead fucker, you know, Kentucky Fried Chicken looking bucket on his head, then a fucking Mike Myers mask on his face. Tall, gangly fucker that has a white Les Paul with a square red kill switch on his Les Paul. Signature model. Randy Rhoads. I've seen a couple videos that had him in it. I don't get it, honestly. You know, I haven't invested any time in either one of them. I'm sure I have never heard Buckethead. I've just seen him and changed the channel as quick as I could. But you're into Kiss and you would switch the channel seeing him? Yeah. I don't know if he's any good or not. I have no interest is basically it with either one of them. I was never a Sabbath person or, you know, Ozzy. So, you know, sorry Randy got killed and stuff, and other than that, don't care. I think it's funny that 9 out of 10 people who worship Randy Rhoads, who sell their guitars on eBay, can't spell Rhodes correctly. That's funny when they can, or even when they write here, right? You know, they'll write to me just like you did, but you spelled his name correctly. They'll say, "What do you think of Randy Rhoads, Scott?" And I'll write back. It's like, apparently more than you, because at least I know how to spell his fucking name. But dude, honestly, I just don't. I don't care, and I don't know of them. I don't follow guitar players in any respect. I have very, very little admiration. I have no, I can't say no admiration. I admire anybody who can play a guitar. I admire them. I give them all the props in the world. Doesn't mean I have to like them or follow anything they do. So I'm sure they were fine, but I could give a fuck, and that's an honest answer. So, sorry, you know, I'm not being mean to be mean. I just, that's the truth. I could give a fuck, and I haven't heard Buckethead that I know of. I've seen Randy a couple times in the videos to see what the fuss is all about, and I don't see what the fuss is about. So many people, I know it's a whole different century now, but that stuff was average, I thought, for its time. There was a lot better guitar players doing the same type of work than Randy. I think just the fact that he died is the only reason he was popular. So there's my thought, sorry. Okay, going to Michael. Michael Z. Martin. So I can't say much about Michael except for what a wonderful human being he is. Amazing at everything he does. Let me see if he's answering somebody or if he's oh, okay, he's actually asking a legitimate question. No, I'm reading somebody else's question and I'm giving Michael props for asking a legitimate question. I know me and Mike are the only two laughing right now, but fuck, what a great guy this guy is. If you guys ever go talk to Michael Martin, he's got the little avatar. Me and my cameras. Little chick with the butterfly wings, but Michael Z. Martin. If you get a chance to just become that man's friend, do it. Some people are just peas in a pod, and this guy's insanely insane to the point of brilliance. And nothing in that sentence was incorrect. He's that guy. He's the artist who will chop off his ear, but yet, you know, just ungodly fucking brilliant. You know, it's just, you know, the people who are so bright they shoot their heads off. He's that guy in so many ways. Multifaceted, talented fucker. Okay, let's see what it says under here. It's got to be brilliant, whatever it is, or just way the fuck out there that you won't get it. I'll just read it and figure it out. And it has been edited, maybe for a spelling thing, because he knows how much of a freak I am for spelling problems. I know it's my problem, but okay. His says Chappers and the Captain. Let me see if he's answering to the guy above again. Doesn't seem to be. Let's see. Chappers and the Captain. It doesn't say he's replying to somebody. How fucking nauseating. They are like the Walmart and Starbucks of the guitar community. You can't get away from them no matter how hard you try. So fucking true. It is incomprehensible that they have gotten as far as they have with so little talent. True again. I would rather mop floors at a peep show or clean monkey shit at the circus than sit through one of their videos. So it's just a statement. And I second it, and third it, and fourth it. Michael, you are a gem. And I'll leave it at that. So thank you for that. Okay, we're going to SD Rockman. Okay, it goes over a couple pages. I'm going to scribble this one up all the way up to Michael's response. SD Rockman has a lengthy prosthetic penis. Now I have no idea what he has. He won't show it to me, damn it. Okay, it says, hi Scott. Hey man. It's great that you're doing the Ask Scott Grove thing again. Thanks man, appreciate it. Because I've been dying to ask you a question that not only I would benefit from. It's about keeping unwanted noise out of bass playing. Okay. When I want to do Billy Sheehan two-hand tapping, the problem is mostly the G string. Okay. My palm is in the right. Let's see. My palm in the right hand seems to have too much of a curve, and that can be true depending on the bass you're playing. If you're depends. I hope you tell me if you're playing 4, 5, or 6 string bass what you're doing. That's going to have a lot to do with it. According to the avatar, well, it's hard to say. Looks like a Ninja Turtle. See, the palm on my right hand seems to have too much of a curve, and this stops it from resting on the D string, not keeping it quiet. I have tried tapping by resting my thumb on the D string, but it's still noisy because of the thumb sliding across the D string. Okay, let me see where you're going. I've tried tapping, resting my thumb, so I'm guessing you're tapping the G string, and you got your thumb resting on the D to shut it up and trying to lay the rest across the A and the E at least, or low B too, but you're still getting noise because of the thumb sliding across the D string. Oh, okay. Easy enough. And any more? I know there is. Does a noise gate have anything to do with keeping unwanted noise out like this? And the rest of it, just so I can put it out here. Are you ever going to do a paid video on muting techniques that only rely on the hands and not those hair scrunchies? So many people using those scrunchies, huh? And I would never be caught dead using one. There's a reason for them, but not... There are a lot of reasons for those scrunchies, but I would never use one. I think if you're using one, you're doing something wrong. It would be great if you could answer my question. Of course I want to answer your question. How much time do I got? Plenty. I don't care. I do an hour and a half or an hour and 5 minutes into it, and if it takes me 25 minutes, let's figure it out, my friend. I'll sit right here and do it with you, and I'm not going to make you pay for it. If anybody else wants to tune out during this, go right ahead, but I'm here to answer questions, and that's what I damn well expect to do. I'm going to grab something that has fret markers, which is not much. Most of my basses don't have fret markers. I'll grab this $98 bass I just got. It's got dots. Alright, the PV Millennium. That one there. Ooh, pretty, huh? Hell of a fucking bass. $98. Brand spanking fucking new. Okay, so... And I want to get to SD Rockman. Okay, so let's get down here. Let's check it out, buddy. You and me. Everybody else, like I said, if you want anything else, you can check out the next edition and catch you later. And this guy are going to do something here, and I will make free videos. I will not make you pay for the video. And I will make you a video sometime within the next month or so. I'm sure less, because it's a proper thing to talk about, and it's needs to be covered, so I would be glad to do this video. Let's see, so you're resting here on the D string, and you're doing probably, God, what kind of tapping would you probably be doing? Are you doing the Van Halen type of... We may have to chat. But as far as keeping everything else shut, the noise gate question, let's get to that. No, noise gate's not going to help you do anything other than it's quiet. It keeps everything dead quiet when you're not playing. So it's not going to cut any extraneous noises out like you want it to. So that's not. It's going to just be no. That's not your suggestion. That's not going to be your cure. The noise gates, again, if you're playing, then you stop. Your amp's not going to be over there going shh like it always is. It's going to be like it's not even fucking on. Especially if you put it through the effects loop. That's where it'll keep it quiet. If you put it before the amp, before the preamp input, doesn't do quite as good of a job. But noise gates are just to keep everything dead quiet between you doing anything. So if you're sitting there hammering on, tapping, and you accidentally hit that D string like I just did, of course it's not going to keep that out. It's just there to shut everything up when everything is supposed to be dead quiet. Okay, so it's not a cure for sloppiness. Okay. Okay, so you've got a big curve here in your D in your hand, and so you're hitting the D string. Okay, I need to see, so let's just do this and we'll get through it. Why don't you email me for the best thing here at groovydjs@aol.com, and either make a video showing me what you have going on so I can fix it for you. Be the easiest way, so I can see what part of your hand is screwing it up. That's going to be probably the best thing. If you can't video it, then go into as much of a description as you can, because I want to read your thing again. Because are you tapping on the G string? The problem is mostly on the G string. Okay, my palm in the right hand seems to have too much of a curve and this stops it. Number one, well, it depends on how you're muting, or how you're holding your hand, because you would not use your palm to mute with. So how much of a curve there is in your palm would have nothing to do with it, because you would mute with the total side of your hand. Is where you would get your muting. Everybody does it different, of course, but generally you're going to be muting with the side of your hand and muting with your pinky here, and depending on everything else, if you're playing a 4-string, you might even, this is a 5, your thumb might actually come over and mute the D string. If this was a 4-string, that's what it'd be doing, but it's muting the A string. Okay, so it might be a combination, but yeah, I'm using, so if I'm on the D string and muting it, I'm muting it with the palm, with the side of my hand, not my palm. Okay, so if I'm, okay, so it's right here, the side of my hand, nowhere near the palm. Okay, so it might be a whole different thing like that. The other place is going to be really obvious, but wherever that guy goes, your first finger, or whatever your lowest position note is, just simply touch the tip of it against your D string. Don't push up or anything, just touch it there. So I've got it on the 5th fret. It is touching the D string, so it's already muted. I don't even need to worry about the right hand, the picking hand. So if you do it that way, no matter what you're doing, so if you want to take that one, but yeah, write me directly, and if you do have the capability of making videos, you can, you know, do one that's unlisted or whatever, or somewhat private, and just give me the link to it, and I'll be glad to help you out further. But yeah, it's gonna be the side of your hand, bottom of your pinky, never the palm of your hand would ever even do anything. It could be a different finger. If you're muting and you can use another finger on the D string. So many different ways. Generally, the top of a finger, wherever it's at, wherever that first finger is at within your tapping, will be muting the D string anyway. So there's lots of ways to do it. So I can answer some more questions. Yeah, just let's get one-on-one on this, and plus I'll do an entire video for you, and I'll try to knock that out in the next, like I said, within the month, because I've got gigs all month long, but I'll definitely knock that one out for you. But I want to see your hands and what problems you're having, because I want to help as many people on an individual basis as I can too. That's why this particular Ask Me Anything is there, so it's for me to help you, and everybody else gets to sit around, twiddle their thumbs while I help you out. So hopefully one of those will help you right now. But yeah, send me that email, and again, let me know if you're using the side of your hand, if you're using the tip of the finger that you're tapping with. If any of that is in the way, you'll never need the scrunchie. People that generally put the scrunchies up there or do it because they saw somebody else do it. They don't know why they're doing it. And they'll put it on their first frets instead of or behind the neck, or behind the nut, but the ones that put it on the first frets are pretty funny. I generally like to play open notes and notes on the first fret, so I don't find much use in eliminating all those notes by putting that big scrunchie over everything. So, okay, so looking forward to hearing from you about that, and just, again, a personal email, groovydjs@aol.com. That way it looks different when I'm scrolling through and ban all the others, and just put bass tapping or something in the subject. Okay? Let's go up here to Super Musician, Music God. Why doesn't any company build the perfect guitars? With most of every single well-known innovation that is only property of a particular company. Good question. I have some ideas, but which company would listen to me? None. Before I offer my prototypes, none. Without being famous, none. He's from Barcelona. This is Victor. Everybody's going to steal your shit. You're never going to get anything. It's true, man. It's sad, but it's true. They will change it to the slightest degree. Everybody does it. So you can try to patent shit, but unless you are already a multimillionaire, you're not going to be able to keep anybody from your shit. After those words of encouragement, and that's why I just go ahead and give all my stuff away free, all the ideas, and a lot have come to be. Whether they were because of me, who knows? But at least I have those things at my disposal now, because they have been made. Right down to the last screw, but hey, who knows if it was for me or not. The perfect guitar is only in your eyes, dude. But I'm 100%, I already know where you're at. Okay, yeah, so you're like where I'm at, you know, it's like, you know, Les Pauls and the stupid cinematic bridges. They fall off the guitar, the top tailpiece, it falls off the guitar. Everybody's like, not if you put tape around it or rubber bands, or only change one string at a time. Look, they're faulty, okay? So, yeah, people make every single part, all parts and everybody else, makes replacement parts for everything that does have drawbacks. Everybody has made a better mousetrap. Why doesn't anybody make a guitar that has every last improvement that could ever be made to it? I guess that's why they're rich and why we're not, because we would do it just because, you know, we would love to have guitar players have perfect instruments, you know, as perfect as they can be. But everybody finds a perfect instrument as being something else. It's hard to find two people that will like the same thing. Most people that like the same thing only like it because the other person has one. They don't know what other things are like. Again, that's the fanboy shit. Everybody that wants that 59 Les Paul. It's not because it's a great axe, it's because it's supposed to be a great axe. It's not. I've played and had them, and huge difference. Nope. But other people will swear that there's something in there, but there's nothing in there for me. But again, Fender had Don Lace, you know, the lace sensors. You know, Don has passed away now, so it's this kid making a bunch of shitty pickups now. You don't see any guitars coming with lace sensors. They used to all the time. But since Don Lace died, anyway, what Fender did, they had the lace sensors from 87 to 97 on all their Strat Pluses and variations of them, which were great pickups and still are. Then they wanted to get rid of those, and since they knew how they work now, put out this Fender noiseless pickups, and of course there have been the noiseless ones, the N2s, the N3s, and they all suck big dick. They didn't get it right at all. They're nowhere close. Those pickups, if you have the Fender N noiseless pickups of any series, they blow major dog, and you should trash them and definitely redo your guitar. They fucked them up bad and burned their bridges, and the only way a lace thing got in there was when James Burton there was using his guitars, and they won't put lace sensor on them, even though they are all silver lace sensors. But Fender has went ahead and discontinued the James Burton models now, so there's no more lace stuff involved. But they even just took the name off of it. It used to say Fender lace sensor, because they just wanted a piece of that and took it. And then they took the design and fucked it. So again, you will get all, I know I'm rambling, I can feel it in my head, and I always do, but I'm doing so more so than normal. It must be pill time. So the only company that would make something like that, there was a company that was called Floyd Rose. They made a guitar that had a headstock on it, but yet it was still headless, in the way that the headstock was just there to look like something. There were no tuners on it. It was a triangle shaped headstock hollowed out in the middle, and still, of course, it had a Floyd Rose on it, and no balls were used in the making of this guitar. So you just put one end of the string in, the other end of the string you had to use their strings, you had to use their everything, but Floyd Rose made every single thing on the guitars. You can still buy them on eBay for $200, no problem. Back when they were, $1,200, $1,500 when they came out. Nobody wants them because it's not set up their way. But everything on them is actually fabulous. But it's not. If people want something customized, they're going to do it their way, and your way is never going to happen unless you become famous and you put out your own designer series of guitars that everybody has to have. It's not the way that the world works. You have to sell each piece individually, and that's the way it is. The majority of the people who are guitar players are retards and following sheep. Nobody is a leader. Most of them will quit real soon, sell off all their shit because they had some kids or due to some fucking woman fucking them over somehow. So most of these people won't even have a guitar in a year. So yeah, if you think you have some products and you do find a way to get them patented, they will still get stolen from you. Enjoy that. So you better be rich going in. And God, I wish I had some encouraging words. But why doesn't, I'm looking for a loophole, dude. Why doesn't any company build the perfect guitar with most every single well-known innovation that is only property of a particular company? Yeah, Floyd Rose. Yeah, it's too bad that somebody like All Parts or something like that make a bunch of all the best, some of the best replacement parts, that they don't make their own guitar. Just stand to reason that, okay, it's roller everything, so everything is friction free, everything is going to work perfectly, every thing has been grossly just developed way beyond the potentials of the original stuff. And why should anybody use old original shit? They shouldn't. But they're gonna, because they're retarded. I have no other way to tell you this. They think that's the way it's supposed to be, but if it's them, then it's them. If that makes them happy, so be it. You and I can't change them, no matter how right we know we are. But then again, nobody can be right when it comes to music. So you're always going to have that mentality. So nobody can be right. Certain things make people come, certain things don't. The same things that make us come don't make other people come. Does that help? People are, the best guitars have fallen along the byways. Best guitars in the world have come along and just been, like you're talking about, just everything just so amazingly perfect about them, and the price was right, and people won't pay attention to them because it has to be a Sunburst Strat with old vintage everything recreated on it. It has to be a Telly that's butterscotch with a black pickguard, 52 specs. It has to be an SG or a Les Paul. And people are either going to use what came stock in their guitar as far as pickups on those humbuckers, or they're going to throw active EMGs in it and only put Grover tuners on it, or some people may or may not put locking tuners. That's way too futuristic for a lot of the cork sniffers. So for somebody to go for a guitar that is amazingly decked out and wild and everything, just kind of like when Steinberger came out. They did, everything was their own thing. Everything was composite material, graphite type stuff. The neck, the bodies were hollow, completely hollow. They had transposing tremolos, so you just pull it back to a certain way and the whole guitar was tuned in G. Or you could pull it back some more, the whole guitar is tuned in A. You can drop the whammy bar down a notch and it goes to drop D tuning, drop it down one more and the whole guitar is tuned all the way down to D. To go again, you're down to C, and it played in tune by simply using a physical whammy bar. No electronic gadgetry, nothing. It didn't go out of tune, couldn't go out of tune. Strings on both ends had balls on them. You dropped them in, boing, just push down the whammy bar, drop the end in, lift it back up. The fucker's gonna be in tune. Who wanted it? Not many. Why? Retards. Really, it's just, man, the world's never going to change as far as that goes. And there's always going to be tons more of them than there will be of us who like stuff that works perfectly every time, will never wear out. I love guitar strings that don't wear out. Other people just absolutely hate them for some reason. They like them to be dead, right out of the box. I don't know, something crazy about them people. But I wish your idea would work, but it won't. But chase your dream, buddy. I'm not trying to say anything negative. And the next question, I can already see it, and I'm just going to roll my eyes. I'm sorry to have such a dismal video here today, but it's based on the questions. But I have some ideas, but which company would listen to me if I offer my prototypes without being famous? Nobody, man. Nobody's going to. Everybody will steal it. Nobody's going to listen unless you have the prototype, and then they will. If you have the prototype and you do get it patented and beyond the patent pending before you show it to them, even if it's patented, they're still going to steal it from you and change one little thing, and it's theirs. Either that's going to happen to you, or you're going to have to ask somebody a lot smarter than me, because I've seen it happen so many times, and they got all the money, you don't. And the way to protect yourself? Mobs. Mobsters, I don't know. But they'll take it from you. I wish I had a better answer, but I don't. I've just seen it happen so many times, and everybody comes back and tells their sad story about how they spent their $250,000 on this idea, and now their stuff is on every single, I can't say which guitars, and they're all over the place, and some people love them, some hate them, but that was their idea, and they had it patented. But it doesn't matter if they have a patent. It's America. You have no rights anymore. So I'm going to do one more. I'm going to, and I'm sorry, dude, I wish I had something better for you, but it is that dismal. And this one is all over the world, and I already thank you for wishing me better. And this is on the 332 tuning thing. No, let's just leave it at that. This is I don't know if it's Lumini Wall, Lumine, maybe Lumen Wall. It says, hello Scott, hey, I have just one question. Have you heard of or used the A432 tuning standard? I can no longer use A440 standard due to my tinnitus. Huh. In that case, I could see it for you, but just tune down. Don't go to the 432. Number one, you have nothing to tune it to, or to tune it with. Even none of your tuners, no matter how old they are, they're not going to go down that flat. Tune down a step or two. But as far as the 432 shit, it's all bogus bullshit. I said thanks for all you do on here on YouTube, and I hope you've been doing better. Appreciate you, buddy. Dude, I would just go to yeah, just drop your tuning and just let the strings be as loose as they have to be, but don't concentrate, don't put any more power into this 432 bullshit than it's already been given. It's just a bunch of people acting like a prehistoric man looking for an answer again because fire. You know, it's like, must be a god that created the fire. Thunder, oh, another god of thunder, and rock and roll. There's nothing to this 432 bullshit. Just tune your guitar looser and looser and looser until you find a good place to put it, to whatever feels good on your tinnitus. But 432, just forget that number exists, unless that's what you get charged at the pumps per gallon of gas, because there's nothing to the 432. We just need a standard of music, and it had been changing all over the world for a while, and that was it at one time. But more than anything, the standard A equals was usually way higher than it is now for the majority of time that musical instruments have been around. You know, where people were actually able to even say A equals whatever. We just needed a common number to settle on so people could record after Les Paul, after people finally took him serious and said, hey, it has to, if we can write something and record part of it here and then send it to London and have more parts added to it and then send it to here, you know, everybody has to have the piano. It takes a while to tune a fucking piano. Everything has to be, in the world, has to be in unison, so they just settled upon this. They picked a number that we were slightly close to already, that everybody would finally agree on, and that is that. You know, so as far as there being any weird psychic powers, or everybody's going to be calmer, or, you know, be in a big bubble bath if you tune in 432. No, there's nothing behind it other than people just trying to create something. There's nothing founded in 432. So just loosen your strings, tune the rest of your guitar to whatever fits to you, leave your tuner set on that, play as great as you can, and just have a wonderful life. Forget that 432 exists. Forget that 420 exists. People keep asking me, Scott, you want to smoke dope to get rid of your pain? Nope. I have no desire to touch that crap. But that's all I can do, man. Just have a good life, make your hands feel good by tuning to whatever it ends up being. It might be something different every day, but just keep on playing, and that be that, dude. 432, though, throw that number away. Just forget it exists, honestly. I wouldn't steer you wrong on purpose at all, ever. So I'm telling you now, just every time I see that number, I just turn the page because I know it's just going to be an idiot fest. Okay, so folks, Scott Groove, Dr. Groovy, GroovyMusicLessons.com, Part 5 of Series 2. I know it wasn't extremely interesting or whatever thing on my end. I'm a little out of the loop today, but I've been sleeping for stupid amounts of time, and my whole thing is just kind of off. But then again, hey, it's out there. I answered some questions, so it's more than I can do on other days. So it's a good day. I actually got up and showered, so that's a great day for my wife. So you guys will be groovy. I'll do part 6 and 7 and keep going till they're all done. And you know, some days will be better than others, and blah blah blah. So if you guys actually still enjoy the sound of my voice for some fucking reason, thanks for tuning in. And again, Will's Easy Guitar. Go that link at the beginning of this. Go listen to the man teach. Go listen to the man preach. He's amazing. He really is. And I'm just glad that he's out there. He's somebody you guys should go check out. Just whatever your beliefs on anything are as far as guitar, go listen to the man and listen to the man. Okay, there's physics involved, but he explains everything in layman's terms too, so all of us kids can enjoy it and understand it. So go give Will a good listen. That's the best tip I can give you today, is go check out Will and his Tonewood thing. Watch the typical morons yakking at him and how he shuts them down and how he explains everything, and not how he explains everything, yeah, how he explains it, how he proves everything, how other physicists or whatever come along and try to shut him down with their theorems and theories and crap they have written down, and he shoots them down in flames again, and nobody can touch the man, you know. But it's a battle of wits, and it's funny and it's great, and if you're into it, it's just worth going to his channel to see that stuff. And I'm going to check out his lessons too. I've just been too involved in everything else he's been doing that's intellectual instead of learning guitar stuff. But very cool cat, man. Go check him out and listen to him. My faith is in him, you know. It just gives me more links to throw at people when they say bullshit. It's like, well, go talk to this fucker. I'm tired of talking to you guys about wood, tone wood. So somebody else got on the bandwagon, and again, he was a believer in the tone woods made a difference. He proved himself wrong, and he was glad he proved himself wrong. He's like, I would rather be right than be wrong and tossing out information that is wrong, because he doesn't willingly want to do that, like I don't. If I'm ever wrong about anything, I don't want to put it on the internet. So go check Will out. Interesting boy. I think you'll like it. Okay, guys, be groovy. Talk to you soon, and my buddy, please do write me and make the video or explain a little more what you got going on with the tapping bass thing, and I'll personally address that on our time. I won't make everybody else sit through that thing, and then I will of course do a free lesson for you, hour and a half, something on bass tapping and muting things and keeping things nice and quiet for you. Okay, so see you guys soon. Take care. Bye bye.